This is the main box of the LVDS control unit. This has spacing for the backlight. Now I have just raised the Z probe up a bit, so it'd be interesting to see how thick this, well, so how wide this line is going to be. It was a bit too thick for my liking, and there is a bit of an outline left on the PEI sheet. I think that will come off after a bit. It's not a major worry, I don't think, for me anyway. Still quite wide there. I have increased the temperature of the nozzle to 200 from 190 it was on. I'm going to put this onto time lapse quite quickly just now. Yeah, that's still quite wide, that skirt. This is the skirt. Goes round the outside about twice just to get the filament sort of flowing, and gives a chance to check on the layering. As I say, I have raised the Z probe up a little bit there on this print from the previous print that was done. Okay, stop yakking and get on the time lapse. I just say, yep, we've still got faint on both of these edges, which indicates there is a bit of a bow in this build plate. I would have thought the auto leveling would have allowed for that, but I don't know. I'm not an expert in 3D printing. Whiz. Right, okay. Right, let's get this on the time lapse, I think. "21 minutes, and look at the thickness of that line." Sorry. We'll see how thin it, how ropey it's almost printing there in that back left hand corner. I mean, these are round disc things that, sorry about this, oh God, I can't get this tripod sorted out. Those round disc things are like speaker grids. This is the second design, and I've changed where the buttons sort of go in. There's going to be like a pin thing that you can press, and that will press the button. That will allow a bit of flexibility as to exactly where the buttons are. One of the main changes I would say is the slots that the PCB goes in, because if you look at my previous design, there's a runner, but there's a plug on the PCB that sort of knocks against the runner, so I've had to change that. Some other minor adjustments into certain things. So as I say, those grids are not actually speaker grids, but that's what I'm using them for. They're meant to be coasters. I'll put some details here. You can see that that is not totally printing evenly in that corner. As I say, auto leveling is working. You might just, can you see that? No. Okay, I'm going to put it back on the time lapse. normal speed on the video, coming up to 1 hour. When this nozzle moves out the way, if you look over on the left underneath the nozzle, actually now, there's like a gap over on the left. I don't know how well you can see that gap over on the left. Let me move the camera. Apart from that, it seems to be printing quite well. I'm thinking about this width of this line is far too wide, and I'm thinking about turning the temperature down. On this one I turned the temperature up from 190 to 200. The heat bed's on 60 degrees here. You see that the fan is turning there. We get some strobing on that. Well, the fan to the part, that is. With 1.5 of millimetre height, and that fan speed is only on 30% at the moment. That's normal. But I'm going to put it onto time lapse just now. See, it's doing that part over there now. But hopefully it's going to fill that in, that gap. Let's get it onto time lapse. Three and a half hours, and as you can probably see now, it's done this part well. I think this bed cannot be totally flat, it must be bordered slightly. This aluminium sheet. And that aluminium sheet has a PEI sheet on top. That noise, I'm not sure what that is. I think it must be the bearings in the linear bearings. This carriage. I wasn't really watching this, but I can't really see any major sort of bits sticking up on this model. Well, when the previous model, the nozzle was catching bits of plastic. I think it was a bit too low. I have raised the nozzle up. Maybe thinking about raising it even higher than it is now. So I've changed these were square holes for the buttons to go sort of in. Well, I've changed them to round holes, and I'm going to print out a little peg that will that was a bit rough. There's like a little peg that would press against the button. That's the basic idea there. It sounded very rough when that went over. Is that because it's scraping on the plastic that's been laid, or is it just the bearings? 7 hours 41 minutes. That's just over halfway looking at the bar graph on the display. Getting that noise. I think it is the linear bearings, which are very small ball bearings, and they rotate round in a way, in a channel in the linear bearings. I have put a little bit of oil on these smooth rods, so I'm making that noise. Well, it's 12 hours 43 minutes. There's not much left on the bar graph. I'm quite surprised at that. I expected it to be quite a bit longer left. You see the button holes there. Part of a new design. That will allow a bit of movement if it's the sort of control buttons aren't totally in line. And on this side, when it comes a bit further forward, you'll probably see the slots that have the top of the slot is sort of not there. That's to allow for the plug on this printed circuit board, and that top one, I don't know how well you can see that. Quite well, so as you can see, we've got this noise. I do not like this sort of high pitch noise sometimes when it's going backwards and forwards there. Let's have a look at the display. Turn the light off to see this. So 12:44, and as you can see, the bar graph was suggesting that just over, well, maybe an hour. Actually, don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's back on. Doing a smoothie maker or something. I'm probably going to, well, pause the camera until it's finished, and then I'll come back and take it off the bed, etc. Well, I'm not sure. My camera sometimes has a hard time picking this up, but 13 hours 50 minutes, might as well say 14 hours. of that print. It's quite a bit of an end ooze here. Not sure whether you can see that, but apart from that. Say there's the nozzle bit, so let's see. Seems to be on here reasonably. Sometimes a bit of a showing you what is the front size. So some almost like peg things, very similar to what I use, well actually the same really as what I'm using on my LCD 12864 controller. There's a little like peg thing here that when you press that it presses the reset button. It's my adjustable stand. An SD card inside there. So just the same as this button. That's the plan here. It did originally have squares on. They were a bit tight, but this will also allow a bit of, if it's not perfectly in line, the buttons and speaker grids, although these are not meant for speaker grids. So as I say, it seems to be a little bit of roughness on this edge here that went on the bed. Right, I just want to give a quick test. This is what I'm talking about with this being cut out a bit on here. I don't know if you can see that. Well, I can see it's cut out, it's not really printed. Is that this plug is very near the edge. As far as I know, this is a power plug, although this is also a power plug. This is the one I'll be using 12 volts. See how well this fits in. Bit awkward getting on the camera. Yeah. So that goes in there reasonably well. I've just noticed that there are some wires coming down here. That also might make it a little bit awkward down there, so I might have to consider taking a bit off that edge. That makes it a little bit tight in here, I think, but that's not too bad. And then the main voltage unit, high voltage unit, sort of will go on those couple of holes. Obviously bolted on there, and the buttons, control buttons, infrared, bolted in the back there. Right, I'm going to be printing out the buttons just now, and while I'm doing that I'm just going to tidy this up a bit of filing and such like. We'll see how well that does.